Hey everyone, welcome to our deep dive into leather goods artisanal work. If you're dreaming of crafting beautiful leather goods, you're in the right place. Today we're using RoleCatcher's awesome resources like career guides and interview prep to help you absolutely nail those interviews and stand out. It's not just about landing a job, it's about becoming a true artisan, creating with your hands, maybe even running your own business someday. We'll unpack what this career really entails and get you ready to impress.
You're right, it's a competitive field, so preparation is key. Let's dive right into those tough interview questions RoleCatcher highlighted. You know, the ones that always seem to pop up.
Okay, so first up, can you explain your experience working with leather crafting tools?
hmm
Seems simple enough, but what are interviewers really looking for?
Well, they want to see your practical knowledge, of course, but it's also about your passion, your attention to detail. Don't just list the tools, talk about your favorites, a technique you're proud of. Like, if you love the saddle stitch, explain why it's your go-to.
So, showing your expertise and enthusiasm. Got it. What if someone's newer to leather work? Should they be upfront about limited experience?
Definitely. Honesty is always best. Highlight any skills from other areas, like woodworking or sewing. Those can be transferable. And show your eagerness to learn. Interviewers love potential, not just experience.
That's a great point. Okay, question 2 is all about quality. How do you ensure the quality of your work meets or exceeds customer expectations? This feels like it goes beyond just the actual craft, right?
Absolutely. It's about understanding the client's vision, active listening, communication. Maybe you have a system for double-checking measurements or involve the client in the design process. Even a quick story about going above and beyond can make an impression.
Little details can make a big difference. Now on to question 3. How do you stay up to date with trends and techniques in the leather goods industry? Is this where we talk about scrolling through Instagram for inspiration?
While social media can be inspiring, interviewers want more than that. Mentioning publications like Leather Craftsman magazine, trade shows you've attended, or even online courses you've taken shows you're serious about your craft.
It's about that proactive approach to learning. Makes sense. Question 4 gets into problem solving. Can you describe a time you had to troubleshoot a problem with a leather project? Everyone makes mistakes, but how do you talk about them in an interview?
Pick a time where you not only fixed the problem but learned from it. Maybe you got creative with a repair or changed a design on the fly. Walk them through your thinking, highlight your resourcefulness and adaptability. They want to know you can handle those curveballs.
Speaking of challenges, question 5 asks,
Yeah.
how do you ensure your workspace is organized and clean? Is this really a deal breaker for employers?
Maybe not a deal breaker, but it shows a lot about you. Your professionalism, attention to detail, even your commitment to safety. Talk about your system for tool maintenance, material storage, prioritizing cleanliness, especially with sharp tools and chemicals involved.
It shows pride in your craft and workspace. All right, question 6 is about customer interactions. How do you communicate with customers to understand their needs and preferences? Seems crucial for building trust.
Definitely crucial. Highlight your listening skills, asking clarifying questions, making sure you're both on the same page before you even start. Maybe you have a way of presenting design options or gathering feedback. It's all about that customer-centric approach.
Okay, question 7 gets a bit technical. Can you explain your experience with different leather types and finishes? This is where you can really shine, right?
Absolutely. Don't just list types. Discuss their properties, best uses, and challenges. For example, full-grain leather is great for durability. Suede's more delicate. Talk about your experience with finishes and how they affect the leather's look, feel, durability.
It's going deeper than the basics. This all feels overwhelming. Is there a tool to help?
That's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in. It's amazing. It analyzes job descriptions and suggests specific skills or experiences to highlight in your answers, like a personal coach for interviews.
Wow, so it tailors your responses to each job. That's incredible.
It really is. You know how sometimes you think, did I even mention that skill? RoleCatcher's AI helps you catch those things before you even hit send.
That must be a huge relief. It's like having an expert double-checking your work. Speaking of putting your best foot forward, question 8 is all about hand stitching. Can you explain your experience with hand stitching leather projects? I mean, it's a given for this career, right?
Oh, definitely a core skill. But here's how you stand out. Go beyond listing stitch types and talk about when you use each one. Maybe you have a project that showcases a challenging technique, like a French seam. Explain your choice and how it impacted the final product.
So it's about showing you can think critically and adapt your skills. Okay, question 9 is about deadlines. Can you describe a time when you had to work on a project with a tight deadline? I'm sure this happens all the time, especially with custom orders.
It's bound to happen. This question's about your time management and staying calm under pressure. Choose an example where you met the deadline without sacrificing quality. Maybe you had to prioritize, streamline your workflow, even pull some late nights.
Dedication is key. And I imagine communication with the client is crucial in those moments.
Absolutely. Transparency builds trust, and it shows you're owning the project, even when it's hectic.
Great advice. Okay, the final question from RoleCatcher is about sustainability. How do you ensure that your finished products are environmentally friendly? This seems like a growing concern everywhere, including leatherworking.
It's definitely becoming more important. This is your chance to showcase your commitment. Talk about ethical sourcing, minimizing waste, using eco-friendly materials and finishes.
What are some specific things leatherworkers can do to be more sustainable? I'm really curious.
Lots of things. Sourcing leather from tanneries with vegetable tanning or chrome-free processes is a great start. Choosing natural dyes and finishes, minimizing waste by using scraps for smaller projects, or partnering with companies that recycle leather remnants all show that commitment.
That's impressive. So much thought goes into it. And I bet clients are more interested in knowing where their products come from and how they're made.
Definitely, there's a growing demand for transparency and ethical practices. Showcasing your awareness of these issues can really set you apart.
Before we move on, let's touch on those career paths from RoleCatcher's Career Guide. It seems like there's a lot of room to grow beyond just that first job.
For sure. You could become a master leatherworker, known for your skill and craftsmanship. You could specialize, maybe saddlery or bookbinding, or launch your own business, create your own brand.
That's inspiring to think about. Building a business is a whole other challenge, though. What advice would you give to someone considering that path?
It takes courage, resilience, and a good business plan. RoleCatcher's Guide actually has a section on entrepreneurship with tips on marketing, pricing, even legal stuff. It's a great starting point.
So helpful. So we've got potential career paths and RoleCatcher's AI helping with resumes and answers. Anything else that can give us an edge in interviews?
Absolutely. A strong portfolio is crucial. It's a visual representation of your skills and style.
What are some tips for a standout portfolio? More than just snapping photos.
More than just photos, you're right. It takes thought. Choose pieces that show your range and strengths. Invest in good photos or even short videos demonstrating your process. And don't be afraid to include works in progress or sketches. Show your design thinking.
It's about storytelling, not just showcasing the final product.
Yeah.
Now, more about RoleCatcher's AI. You mentioned it analyzes job descriptions. How does that actually work?
It's pretty cool. Let's say a job description emphasizes shoe repair. RoleCatcher's AI scans your resume and alerts you if you haven't mentioned those skills explicitly.
Like a personal assistant making sure you don't miss anything crucial.
Exactly. And it goes beyond keywords.
Yeah.
It analyzes the tone of your answers too, suggesting adjustments to match the company culture.
That's so smart. Can you give an example?
Sure. If a company values innovation, the AI might suggest highlighting your willingness to experiment, or a time you took a creative risk that paid off.
It's all about tailoring your responses to make the best impression. What about that video practice feature?
It's like having an interview coach. You record yourself answering questions, and the AI gives feedback on your delivery, body language, even eye contact.
Wow, next level. So it's not just what you say, but how you say it.
Precisely. Nonverbal cues are just as important, and the AI helps you refine those aspects.
Okay, we've talked a lot about the practical side. What about the less tangible stuff? What kind of person thrives as a leather goods artisan?
I think it attracts people with a passion for working with their hands. People who find joy in creating something beautiful and lasting. It takes patience, attention to detail, and a willingness to learn and grow.
It's more than just a job, it's an art form.
Exactly. There's a rhythm to working with leather, a connection to the material. It's both grounding and inspiring.
I imagine it takes resilience too. Mistakes happen, and it's about learning and persevering.
Absolutely. And a sense of community is important. Leatherworkers often share knowledge and support each other. Through workshops, guilds, online forums, there's real camaraderie in this field.
It's wonderful. It creates a sense of belonging and shared passion.
It really is. It's like that connection between the artisan and the material, you know?
It's that blend of tradition and innovation, right? We have all this amazing technology, but the craft itself has been around for centuries.
Exactly. And that's what I find so cool about it. You can honor those traditional techniques, but also push the boundaries, experiment with new materials, new designs. There's always something new to learn, a new challenge to tackle.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide really emphasized that lifelong learning aspect. It's not just about mastering a set of skills, it's about always evolving.
Right. And that's where passion comes in. The best leather workers are the ones who are always curious, always looking for new knowledge, new inspiration. That drive keeps them going, keeps the craft alive.
So for someone listening who's feeling inspired and ready to jump in, what's the first step? Where do they even begin?
Well, RoleCatcher is a great place to start. Their guides and those AI tools can be super helpful for navigating the job market and making you stand out. But beyond that, I'd say just start creating, get your hands dirty, experiment, find what you enjoy.
It's about that connection with the material, the satisfaction of making something with your own hands.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to connect with other leather workers. Find workshops, guilds, online communities. There's a whole world of knowledge and support out there.
It's about tapping into that shared passion, that community that makes this field so special.
You got it. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. There will be challenges, there will be mistakes, but that's all part of it. It's through those experiences that you grow, refine your craft, find your own style.
So true. And who knows? Maybe someday you'll be that master leather worker, inspiring the next generation.
I love that. And I have no doubt that our listener has the passion and dedication to make it happen.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of leather goods artisanal work. Hopefully you're feeling inspired and ready to pursue this amazing path.
Remember, it's a blend of tradition, innovation, and pure artistry. With passion, dedication, and the right resources, you can create a fulfilling and successful career.
Until next time, happy crafting.
It really is, and it's fascinating. We've talked about all this tech RoleCatcher offers, but in the end, it comes back to that human element, that connection between artisan and material.
That blend of tradition and innovation. It's like we have these cutting-edge tools, but the craft itself is so old, so rooted in history.
Exactly. That's what makes it so interesting. You can honor those traditions,
Right.
but also push the boundaries, try new things, new materials, new designs. There's always something to learn, always a new challenge.
RoleCatcher's Guide really stressed that lifelong learning aspect. It's not just about mastering the skills, it's about constantly evolving.
Right. And that's where passion comes in. The best leather workers, the ones who really stand out, they're always curious, always seeking new knowledge, new inspiration. That's what keeps them going.
So for our listener who's feeling inspired and ready to dive in, what's the first step? Where should they begin?
Well, RoleCatcher is a fantastic resource, of course. Their guides and AI tools can give you a real advantage. But beyond that, I'd say just start creating. Get your hands dirty, experiment, find what excites you.
It's about connecting with the material, finding that satisfaction, and creating something tangible.
Exactly. And don't hesitate to reach out to other leather workers. Find workshops, guilds, online communities. There's so much knowledge and support out there.
It's about tapping into that shared passion, that sense of community.
Yeah. And remember, it's a journey. There will be challenges, mistakes along the way, but that's all part of the process. You learn, you grow, you refine your skills, find your own style through those experiences.
That's so true. And who knows? Maybe someday you'll be that master leather worker, inspiring others.
I love that thought. And I have no doubt our listener has the passion and dedication to make it happen.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of leather goods artisanal work. We hope you're feeling inspired and empowered to pursue this incredible path.
Remember, it's a blend of tradition, innovation, and pure artistry. With passion, dedication, and the right resources, you can build a rewarding and successful career.
Until next time, happy crafting.